Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Free-to-Play Cast, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magicman, and this is episode 386. Holy balls, 386. We've done a lot of shows. We've got a lot to get to today, a lot of opinions. I'm sure there's going to be some rants. I mean, there's topics that are just rant-worthy, and then, of course, there's Bless Unleashed when you combine it with Mr. Troy Blackburn, the Noob Fridge himself. Will it be a rant? Will he be converted? I don't know. No teasers. We'll get to it when we get to it, but how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I learned something about myself today. Every time you play the intro, even though we can't hear it, I dance like I do for some reason. I'm just like, but I don't hear the music.
Nobody can see you. And you can't hear the music, but you bounce.
But I dance.
You dance. He's over there twerking to the Free-to-Play Cast music. Also on the line, here to hang out and maybe rant with us, is James Earl Jones. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
What's up, Wilfredo?
I'm struggling a little bit. Allergies decided to kick me in the sack, so here we are.
Yeah, you sound a little deeper than normal. You're our Darth Vader correspondent at the moment, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we'll try and mitigate that as much as we can. There. Thank you for being here, because these are some good topics. We got a lot of news to cover, so we're gonna jump straight to it. All right, so we're going to kick it off with monetization, right? It's a free-to-play podcast. Monetization normally rears its head on shows from time to time, and damn, is it going to rear its head on the show today. This week, let's actually start with the second one, because this isn't, as like, there's not going to be a rant here or anything. Normally, this would be the financial show, right? Like Nexon put theirs out. We saw Roblox financials for the first time this week because of them now being a public company. We have the NC Soft financials. Jason not here, getting his second vaccine today. So good luck. Hope he doesn't have any side effects with that one. That's the one that everybody kind of, if you have side effects, that's the one that kind of gets you. So hopefully he'll dodge those. But I wanted to bring up Nexon's financials. Yes, they had a good first quarter for 2021. They did not use the word record setting like they've used in like their last 9. So it wasn't record setting, but it was up. But I wanted to bring one thing from those financials because there's going to be a change in the East. In that presentation, there is an entire page dedicated to improving communication and transparency, which sounds great, with players in Korea. And this kind of comes from a MapleStory promotion where, quote, probabilities associated with unlocking valuable items was not clear enough. And so going forward, Nexon will, quote, disclose probabilities for all of our paid probability items based in our major games in Korea. So that's the spin. That's the spin, gentlemen, that in Korea, we kind of goofed on displaying the probabilities in a transparent fashion, and in an effort to communicate better and be more transparent, we will now show all the odds for our random probability things. Loot boxes, by the way. This has nothing to do at all, I'm sure, with a law proposed by Korea's National Assembly back in February that is potentially looking at making the mystery of loot boxes illegal. So I'm sure they're totally unrelated.
Absolutely. Look how forward we're being with our probabilities. Oh, now we're going to be more forward with our probabilities. Please don't take this away from us. Gambling, we need gambling. We have to have gambling to survive. We're so poor.
I'm sure the two are unrelated, Wilfredo. I'm sure the two are totally unrelated.
Fine, it'll be fine. Meanwhile, we need that money right now.
Taking full advantage of the allergy voice now.
You're gonna have it, use it, right?
Yeah, use it. You are now the corporate overlord character. Your Cobra Commander. So yeah, I'm sure the two are unrelated. We did reach out, by the way, to Nexon to see if this would happen anywhere else, because they specifically keep mentioning Korea. And they just happen to have, this pending might be legislation going. We have not heard back yet. My guess is going to be no, we don't.
No,
if I had to guess.
we
don't want to be that transparent.
Not unless your government introduces some legislation to the contrary, then no, we will not be doing that.
They don't want to
I'm gonna hold my breath until they get back to us. So.
Yeah. So there you go. If you're in Korea, Nexon's going to start showing you the odds. On to some other microtransactions. Path of Exile's having a rough week, boys. Having a rough week. So Path of Exile, free-to-play game, right? Generally considered to be one of the top-tier free-to-play games. Not just in the ARPG genre, the Diablos, the Torchlights of the world, but as a free-to-play game in general, compared to all of its counterparts. Generally considered to have very player-friendly monetization practices, making a lot of money. You might scoff at the expense value, the price tag on some of their packs when they do different expansion launches and things like that. But those are, again, optional items, and their fans support the game that way. And, generally, it's pretty good.
All the while producing a quality game.
Yeah. I mean, it can be done. Surprisingly, it can be done. Might have had a minor misstep today. Or this week. Might. Let me take you gentlemen through it, and you tell me what happened, what you think here. So Path of Exile decided, you know what? We want to give something else away for free and charge for other versions of that. And that's typically what they do. Like, here's some wings for free, Wilfredo. And if you like different wings, here's some in-game, here's some in the cash shop. You do you, boo. Pick what you want. Well, this week they decided to monetize cursors. Your mouse cursor in the game. So there's a pack of 5 cursors that are, quote, inspired by the civilizations of Rayclast that you can manage your inventory with and play the game with. And yeah, $10. You get 5 customized cursors. They do give you one new cursor option, which, okay, great, fantastic. But here's the thing, it's not in the settings. It's not, you don't go to the settings and just change to the freebie cursor, Wilfredo. Oh, no, my friend. If you want your freebie cursor, you get to head on over to the cash shop, claim that freebie cursor, and be shown, by the way, that there is a 5-pack of cursors available. Now, here's the dilemma, and I want to know where you gentlemen fall on this one. Troy, you can look at this one of 2 ways, and the internet is doing exactly that right now. This is 100% optional. It's not even like in the same category as a cosmetic item you put on your character optional. This is, you are the only bad boy that can see this damn thing, unless you are making videos and putting it on YouTube and people can see your cursor in the videos, sure. Other than that, nobody sees this. 100% optional. So there's that audience that says, who cares? It's 100% optional, and it's really literally only for you. The other side of that is, oh my God, you're monetizing mouse cursors, which should just be settings options. This is terrible. This is a step in a bad direction. And what does it lead to being monetized next? What is the whole slippery slope argument, right? What does this lead to next. Which side do you fall on this, Troy?
I'm on the I don't care camp. It doesn't affect me. It wouldn't affect me if I was playing the game. If I wanted the cursors, I would buy them and play with them. I can't even remember, unless I had a cursor that just kind of got lost in the sort of the background. I can't remember the last time I even paid attention all that much to my cursor in an ARPG. Usually watching the game and the action itself. But I mean, I get it. People are afraid of the slippery slope. I've brought up that argument before for certain companies. I think if there ever was a company that deserves benefit of the doubt here, Grinding Gear is it. Despite 10-cent fears and slippery slope arguments, they've been nothing but building goodwill since day one, day freaking one. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with this. I don't think there's anything bad about this. I may eat my words in a few months if they monetize something else like action bars or something. But as of right now, no big deal. Making a big stink about nothing.
Well, see, the stink is coming, Wilfredo, though, from some people that I do think have a bit of a valid concern here in that, yeah, this is 100% cosmetic and optional and only you see it. Great, that's fine. But these are basic settings, aren't they? I mean, a cursor is a basic game setting. The ability to if we go back to Star Wars The Old Republic, the ability to hide your helm is a basic game setting in most games, but was part of the monetization in Star Wars The Old Republic. You had to make that initial, what was it? It's like a $5 purchase to get the veteran status or whatever, preferred status, whatever the hell they called it. And that would allow you to get the additional hot bars, get the additional... And I think that not, oh my God, what do they monetize? What will they monetize next? Which is one concern, yes. But I think more aptly a concern might be we're getting monetization on what is historically just been basic settings options now, Wilfredo.
To take a small page out of Havoc's book, I bought pencils once, and they were really dope pencils. And then I went home, and my mom yelled at me and asked me why I bought pencils. Mind you, I'm like in 7th grade.
All right.
And I say, because they're really cool looking pencils. And she goes, they're wooden pencils. You're going to grind through them when you need to get the point sharp again. And I go, yeah. She goes, there was no point in buying them when we had functioning pencils in the house. So you wasted money for something that's going to disappear anyway. I said, okay. And then she goes, and no one cares what you're writing with as long as you're writing. So at that point, that's when I realized function over fashion is very important. So to come back around full circle, they gave me a pencil right out of the gate. I never cared about that pencil because it did its job. And you're telling me you want me to spend, what, $10 for 5 other pencils that only I'm using the right with and only I seem to care about? No, not going to happen. I mean, it's an option. Great, cool. Why is this not in the option settings? Why can't we just choose one? It's not like the art developers are constantly going, oh, we need to make these cursors look so much better.
It's not like people that played the Path of Exile haven't actually just used YOLO mouse for frickin' ever either, right? I mean, like...
Did you see what I'm talking about?
Like, there's literally selling something that they know, and I think Chris Wilson a while ago at some point had said, yeah, YOLO mouse is fine. I wonder if YOLO mouse is going to be fine for much longer. Like, if you are actively, if you are actively trying to sell cursors, do you still support the ability for me to use a third-party application that will allow me to change my cursors at will? We'll have to watch and see if that changes. I would hope that it doesn't. And by the way, YOLO mouse, you can still use the old beta version for free. It's still got, a couple bugs in it. Shell out $5 and get the non-beta version. But anyway, if you're into the whole cursor thing, I'm not, so I don't care. They do give one for free, Old Glory, and we pointed that out right at the top of this. The only problem that I have with that one is that it's not a simple settings option. It actually makes you go to the store to claim it, and it makes you do that on each character you want to use that freebie cursor on. So you have to go to the store, claim it, and then change it in the settings for each character. So yeah, they do give one for free, but it is that whole, like, anytime I love when I go to, I hate this. I love sarcastically. When you go to like a beta for an MMORPG and there's a storyline quest that sends you to the cash shop. Like,
Oh God,
I
yeah.
hate that. They're like, here, take this currency, get yourself some additional inventory. And you're like, okay, cool. So do I go see a vendor? No.
Nope.
Just open the shop tab.
Yeah.
Open the shop tab.
As we were mentioning it earlier about Resident Evil Village, it's like going to meet the merchant from RE4. It's like, here's a quest, go over here. Then when you get there, what are you buying?
I'm enjoying the hell out of Village, by the way. If you want to watch that, the VODs are on Ready Check Radio. We're 3 streams in. I think we're pretty close to the end. I've stayed away from all kinds of spoilers and stuff, so I have no idea how close, but just like everything, all the main characters have kind of been in and out at this point. Anyway, I'm really enjoying that. Lady D, I'm sorry that her and her daughters weren't a bigger part of the story. I don't want to get stepped on by the 9.5-foot tall woman. I'm not one of those internet guys. Don't get me wrong, but I thought that character and her daughters could be very, very interesting. And unfortunately, they're just not in the game very long. I even said on stream, Troy, that I was like, do you think when they first teased this character and the internet went ape shit over Lady D that Capcom was just like, oh shit. They love this character, and she's in 20% of the game.
Yeah, what was the Far Cry game where their antagonist became really popular in the trailers and stuff, and like he's gone in like the first, I don't know, quarter of the game or something, and there's another actually main bad guy. I forget that dude's name, but like he was really like charismatic in the trailers and stuff, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is really awesome!" And then it's like first quarter of the game, then you're on to the actual main bad guy that nobody cared about.
Yeah. Baron Vagabond in chat, watch Mike play with no glasses. You're a dick, Baron. I have a channel points reward on Ready Check Radio, and one of them is for 10,000 points. It makes me remove my glasses if I'm the one streaming. It makes me remove my glasses and play for 5 minutes.
That's terrible.
Baron popped that on me right as I hit a save point, and so at least he had mercy in that respect. Like I was standing at a typewriter when he popped it. And well, like we have no idea what's going on. No, if people had watched it in chat, they didn't say anything. Like they've been spoiler free in chat. So I certainly don't know because I haven't watched anything. I'm just playing it, and this is the first time through. Immediately take my glasses off, walk through this cave, fall into a room, big ass mini boss fight. Like, it was the very next thing. So, yeah. You're a dick, Baron. Anyway, so we kind of got a split. Like, Troy, I'm kind of with you. I do want to give, like, grinding gear games a little bit of the benefit of the doubt here. But by the same token, this is dumb. This is really stupid. If you want to give options for cursors, go ahead and give options for cursors. Either do it or don't. There's no reason to try and monetize this granular a level of item. It's I hate it. I hate it. It's got to go. Wilfredo, I feel like you're a little closer to me, and Troy, you're in the whatever you want to buy, you buy. You do you category.
I've always kind of been like that.
Not worried about like the next thing. Hey, colorblind options, $8. No?
Well, see, that's a whole nother animal. Like he was saying in chat, if there were accessibility issues with the cursor, that would be one thing. But it's not. It's just decorative.
And ironically, Path of Exile had colorblind options at one point, particularly for gems. Like that is the if you have colorblind issues, gems and socketing is a bit challenging. Yeah. And they removed them, and that's weird. I don't know. Anyway. On to other monetization things, this kind of just breaking. So, gentlemen, it's not in the show notes. I will kind of talk you through it and just get your gut reaction, opinions. A few weeks ago, we got an early look at Destiny 2's transmog system, and we expressed concerns, as did much of the internet, that the transmog system was, pushing you aggressively to the cash shop. The basic gist of it is that you farm up a item, Synthweave, which you actually farm up the items that make it, let me back up again. You actually farm up items that open up a specific type of bounty to go get an item that when you farm those items up, you can make synthweave. Oh, and then synthweave allows you to mark an item for transmog. So that's fun. A to B to C, just to transmog pieces. And the concern at the time when we first got our glances at it was that the caps on how much synthweave you could obtain in a season made it ridiculously impossible to open up, those players that want to open up everything for transmog. Yeah, it's going to take you years. In fact, over a decade was the math. And that was assuming that no new gear was added into the game in that decade. That would then change the math. Now that we're having a bit of a closer look at the process, I don't think you have to worry about the cap, gentlemen. That's good news. I don't think you have to worry about that cap. Because I think what you do have to worry about is you ain't freaking making that cap. That prohibitive cap that we had a problem with a few weeks ago, the problem has now shifted in you can't even make that cap in a reasonable fashion. Well, let me rephrase. I'm going to read it exactly. I'm going to read it exactly as I wrote it in the article, which I did post up this morning on mmobomb.com. Would appreciate you visiting the site, giving it a click, checking out some articles. And, of course, the game page is there if you're looking for something to play. Head on over. We very much appreciate it. I'm going to put it the way I put it there, if I could find the damn thing. Remember when I mentioned grinding to get to the cap? Well, as players have now had a chance to experience the system, it seems that grind is so deep that even getting to the cap itself is a virtual impossibility for everyday players and a pipe dream for casual players, unless you pony up some cash to help out, of course. Because the Skill Up, Skill Up, tweeted, just hit level 31 in the season pass, did every pinnacle across 3 characters and the raid and random stuff. In that time, I earned about 300 synthweave, enough for 2 pieces of transmog gear. Experiencing this firsthand, it really feels like one of Bungie's lowest moments. Reddit user i3IGB actually put a wonderful post. It's linked in the article. You'll be able to find it, but a wonderful post breaking down the entire process. But at the end, sums it up this way. I wanted to put these numbers in a bit of better perspective. According to this site, and provides a link, I have roughly 84 days of playtime on D2 since it released back in September of 2017, nearly 4 years ago. This counts only the active time spent in activities, not in orbit, the tower, or any other social space. I'm listed at the top 3% of playtime among all people who've signed into the game, so I'm definitely an abnormal no-lifer compared to most of the population. This game is my hobby. If you take my playtime of 84 days, or 2,016 hours, and divide that by the number of years this game has been out, roughly 4, you get an average playtime of around 504 hours a year for me. That equates to 21 days of playtime I've put into this game per year. This still isn't enough time to reach the transmog cap for every season in the year, and I'm in the top 3%. It takes almost 27 full days of playtime to reach transmog cap for all 4 seasons in a year, and I'm short at 21 days a year. Even if you no-life the game like me, you're still going to fall short. Unless, of course, Troy, you go ahead and hit that cash shop.
Hit that cash shop. Oh, Lord have mercy. Do you remember when Bungie was initially separating from Activision Blizzard? And
there was a lot of hopeful. There was a lot of hopeful there.
Yeah, and they were essentially like, hey, of course they did it in PR speak, but basically it was, we aren't actually the bad guys. Activision Blizzard made us do all these dirty monetization things. It's going to be different going forward, yada, 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 yada. Here we are, right back to this. It's so convoluted. It's such a grind. Like, it's not even a grind. It's another level of a word that I can't even think of above grind. And I'm with Guardian Vale in chat. Why didn't they just sell skins? Like, at this point, like, forget all this crap. Just sell the skins in the cash shop. Like, If that's your end goal anyway, that's obviously what you want. You don't want anybody getting this crap playing the game. So just put this cash out and let's move on.
Yeah, and all this is actually is a basic transmog system. We go back again, Wilfredo, to those items that historically have just been parts of games now being aggressively monetized.
Something that we say at my job is, if you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. This, look, Path of Exile has a transmog system. Diablo 3, transmog. Plenty of games have transmog. Elder Scrolls has a transmog system.
World of Warcraft.
Of course, WoW's going to have it. Yeah, exactly. Why are you charging so much? This is that corporate entity again. We need money. Give us your money and make it look different because you want to buy it. This is ridiculous.
And it's a weird scenario. The process itself is convoluted without caps. It's you have to do this to farm up these so that you can buy these bounties that reward these. Then you farm up a bunch of those to make these clots, and then boom, you can go ahead and
I was going to say, you just walked us through how to do that, and I still have no clue how to do that.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's stupidly convoluted without the caps. And then there's a timing gap in between each of the very first item you're getting is called synth chords, and there's a time gap in between the time that you can accrue them. So even if I'm a hardcore player and you're a casual player, Wilfredo, if we sit down and we both play for an hour, we will both, as long as we're doing activities, because idle time doesn't count, as long as we're doing activities for that 1 hour, we will both come up with the same amount of synth chord. I won't get any more than you, even though, let's say, I'm more hardcore, I'm more invested, I'm better at the game than you, I can kill more things faster than you, I can do more bounties, do this faster than you. I can't accrue those initial synth chords at a faster rate than you, because it's based on time, not the actual progression or performance inside the activity. It's a convoluted system for a game that isn't struggling. Like, I would almost be like, this is terrible, and I understand it, but the game's dying. They're trying to do something to get some money in the door. The player base for D2 is big. The monetization is big. This is a free-to-play game that you still have to buy the expansions, a la Guild Wars 2 and stuff like that, right? You want to get the most recent expansion, you got to buy it as a free-to-play player. And there's so much monetization around it. It's like, why? You don't need to do this. And here's what I'm worried about, and I wrote this in the damn article that I put up. A month or so from now, we're going to get a revamp of this. I don't see any possible way they can't revamp this in some way. The player base is just really pissed about it. We're going to get some half-ass revamp that's going to make it mediocre at best, and they're going to get praise for hearing the community and doing this bad. No. This is a Star Wars Battlefront 2 moment for me, Troy. I saw what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I saw what you wanted to do. And this mediocre thing that it by itself I still would have had problems with, you're not going to get praise from me just because it happens to be better than the garbage you initially launched this with. It's a Battlefront 2 moment for me. Maybe not as egregious. I'm not comparing the actual ins and outs of the situation. I'm just simply saying I saw what you wanted to do.
Yep, it's too late. And you can pretend like that's not what you intended to do all you want to. But it's obvious. Your player base knows now. If you had goodwill with your player base, you can kiss a lot of that goodbye at this point.
They're not going to get credit from me when they walk this back, Wilfredo, unless it's like a complete walk back and it's like, look, you cannot buy this stuff anymore. It's a transmog system. Everybody just, here, start doing your transmog, and things like that. Unless they just like removed monetization entirely, which isn't going to happen at this point. They're not going to get any credit from me down the road for a revamp.
Yeah. I'm curious. You think you guys could like reach out to Bungie and ask them what is it like to try to ice skate uphill?
It is a bit of a challenge. I mean, they've had a rough PR week. A couple of weeks, actually. Like, they accidentally enabled crossplay. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
That's not supposed to be out until season 15. They're like, oops. Of course, they shut it down, but they were like, oops. Yeah, it's not been good. It's not been good. All right. I guess we got to cover it.
Yeah,
got to find out. All right. Many of you know my opinions of Bless Unleashed from previous shows. In this portion, I will divulge some things that maybe have changed my perspective on the game a little bit since back when I did the first look when it was an Xbox-only title. Now, of course, it's available on PS4. The closed beta for the PC version is running right now, runs until the 17th, and then presumably we will have a launch sometime shortly after. We don't have a date. I guess they're waiting to see how beta goes, but whatever. I would expect a launch shortly after that. Now, Wilfredo, you have played the game on PS4.
Correct.
I've played on Xbox One and then on PC, so I could just skip the PS4. Troy wouldn't even touch it on the Xbox One, wouldn't even touch it on the PlayStation 4, but a special thing happened. We do this show live Fridays, 1 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/MMOBomb. Come join us, bring a friend at some point. We also stream Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday right after this show. The Thursday stream is Troy's. Yesterday, I hit Troy up to see what he's streaming, and he's going to jump back into Star Wars The Old Republic. It's a continuation of what he'd been doing last week on May the 4th when he did a special Tuesday stream instead of Thursday. Okay, cool. I set up the stream. Chat comes, they're hanging out, and Troy mentions that he has an email for the Bless Unleashed closed beta on PC. He gets in, and chat basically peer pressures him into swapping games. So for about 6 or 7 minutes, chat got to hang out with Troy and watch Bless Unleashed install while Troy flipped through some of the latest updates and patch notes so that he could see what was going on.
Yeah, if you want proof that that isn't what I intended to play, you can just come watch me download it.
The VOD is on Twitch right now. You can definitely check it out. So I gotta know, Troy, you played for a few hours after that, got through the initial tutorial stuff, got through the initial city that gets ransacked, then you wake up in the other place, and you played for a little while there. Initial thoughts from character creation on, did Bless Unleashed change your mind? I know you have problems with NeoWiz and the way Bless was handled and where the financing, and we can get that in a second. I just want to know how Bless Unleashed in a vacuum felt now that you played it. Oh,
before you give your answer, I'm going to go play the lottery. I'll be back.
What do you got, Troy?
Well, we crashed it in the character creator.
Yes, you did.
And I mean, hardcore, it just froze completely up. I had to go hard shut it down in the task manager. In character creation, looking at hairdos, ladies and gentlemen, it just froze. We were done.
You did give the game credit in character creator for including more ethnic hairstyles, though.
Yes, there were some ethnic hairstyles, which were, to me, a little surprising coming from an Eastern import. So that was good. Character creation was, I mean, decent. It was sliders. You can make crazy looking dudes. We made a zombie short arm T-Rex Crusader. So character creation can be a little fun. Normally I would spend more time, but for the stream, I'm not gonna spend 2 hours in a character creator. So we made something silly and moved on. It's very tropey, very, very tropey. It's amnesia. It's, you start with all your abilities and there's a boss fight you can't win, and then you die and you wake up and all of a sudden you don't have all these abilities. And then you get to another part and then all of a sudden you have amnesia and you meet people you've known your whole life, but you don't know anything about them. It's very, very tropey. The story, the writing is not really great. Gameplay wise, it's okay. It's okay. The combat I enjoyed the sword and board. I enjoyed the shield bash, as somebody in a chat pointed out a few minutes ago. The shield bash is just something I've always loved, and especially when it sends somebody flying across a map. I'm just like, shield bash, and then I jump on you and I'm gonna beat that ass. So I like that type of gameplay. So it was okay. It's nothing to write home about. It's more than Bless Online was, that's for sure. It's better than Bless Online. The bar for that is very, very low.
Right.
But
I mean, that's like stepping over one of those like Dash Hound jump bars at the animal show. Mm-hmm. Like you just like step over it.
It's a slog in the beginning too. It's like it's somebody compared it to a lot of Final Fantasy games, and I don't mean that as an insult. It's just a comparison that was made. You spend a lot of time running around talking to folks in cities. in the beginning.
There's
and
a
I
lot
mean,
of
a lot
there's a
of time
lot
running
of
around
story
talking to
setup
folks.
going on there.
And then walk 5 feet and talk to the guy that they can't seem to talk to, even though they can like look over and say, "Hey, buddy, what's up? Hey, will you tell so and so this and this and this?" You mean that dude that's like almost holding your hand right there? Yeah,
Right.
sure, I'll tell him.
Right. What about you, Wilfredo? Before we get to some other specifics here, general thoughts on it.
It is very generic. There's no question to that. Lacking a bit. It very much reminded me of a high fantasy version of Remnant from the Ashes, because the controls are basically the same. Again, to Troy's point, very tropey, commonplace, cannon fodder when it comes to high fantasy. A lot of running back and forth. A lot of, oh, look, I'm in this area and I've got all my abilities. And then, oh, look at this. The city's under siege and I've got all these abilities. And then, hey, here you are. Go figure it out. It was very pedestrian. So if you're looking to mindlessly play the game, it'll be fine for a little bit.
I liked aspects of Bless Unleashed, actually, when I initially did the first look. And I got to like mid-level 20s or early 30s. I don't remember quite which, but right in that area. I did like there is an aspect of grind to the game when you get a little further than you were, Troy, had you progressed some more. There is an aspect of grind, like, okay, I got to go kill monsters for the last 30% of this level so that I can then, do this, the main story quest. There are some like side region quests and stuff like that you can do, but they progressively reward less and less as you level up. You got to look for the different, more difficult ones. I did like aspects of the gearing too, where there were feelings of, more older, nostalgia feels like from like EverQuest or from Final Fantasy 11 or stuff like that. Like when you got a piece of gear, you felt like you earned it. Yeah. You felt there was, and I like that feeling, which is missing from so many MMORPGs, I think. Right now it's just get that dopamine hit from another drop is what a lot of MMORPGs are these days.
Yeah,
I like
the little mini bosses were dropping gear that was actually for me.
Yeah.
And was an upgrade. Yeah. And I was like, nice.
Yeah. That said, it does turn into too much of a grind for me anymore. The nostalgia went a little too far, and I remember one stream in particular where I had to literally grind monsters for an hour and a half on stream just to open up the next story quest. So we were literally just running around killing monsters in the field. Now, all that said, the UI on PC is terrible. It's really bad. You either have to finish the tutorial and do some pretty extensive key mapping to make it generally feel like most controls on an MMORPG, or just plug in a damn controller, because you can tell right away that this was a console game first.
And they did the absolute minimum to make it functional with mouse and keyboard.
It's a mixed bag for me. It's one of those things that like it's just barely not on my radar anymore. It's like just outside my radar, because when I got to the level, the 30s, it just became too much of a grind for me to invest the time in. I wasn't invested in the game enough, or if I had a bunch of friends playing and we were all going to do it, that might put it back, like edge it into my radar to be something to play. As a solo experience, I just couldn't invest the time in it. So, but I gotta say, it is a huge improvement over Bless Online, but it's also totally different from Bless Online. Like the comparison isn't fair, right? Because you've got the insane action game versus a very traditional tab target, hotbar mentality MMO. It's got pluses, but unfortunately, I just don't know if it's going to be all that long for this world. Like the player base that wants to play something like this is there, no doubt, but I don't know if it's big enough anymore to keep it sustained for any very, very long period of time, Wilfredo.
It's died twice.
Well, online did. Bless Online did. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I understand and I see where they're coming from Bless Online to this. Yeah, there are some pretty stellar improvements, but the improvements were more for functionality, but it wasn't necessarily for the game itself to be very alluring. It looks great, relatively speaking, to many other games. Gameplay wise, it's solid, but it feels very dated, and it just becomes very pedestrian at that point. It almost feels like, as weird as a comparison as it is, it almost feels like at times I'm playing Rift with just a graphical update. And that's good and bad, and that leaves me questioning things, and I don't like questioning things.
Wilfredo's very like, I did not know that about myself.
Exactly. I'm a little curious about this one.
So,
Yeah, as Chad is pointing out right now, if this had been Bless Online, I would not have hated on Bless Online nearly as much as I did. But that's what this feels like. This is like, well, this is what Bless Online should have been. And even then, I don't know that I would have played it that long. But, it's better than that crap. And as Mike was pointing out, man, the UI, if you're coming from as a person who's only played it on PC, really only plays PC, the UI, especially when you get into the menus and stuff, is horrendous. And there are QT freaking E's in boss fights. Are you kidding me? Here's your rant. You want to rant? There are QTEs in an MMO boss fight. All of them. All the ones I've been a part of so far. If it's a boss and you're walking in by yourself, there's going to be a QTE. Quick time event, for those of you who don't know, where it just randomly chooses a button up on your screen. You have to press it or hold it or something. And there was one was like space bars and mouse buttons and blah, 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 blah. And if you fail it, you're going to lose like 3/4 of your health. And in an MMO, I wasn't expecting that the first time. I was just looking at it going, what is that? What is this on my screen? Why am I pushing the space bar? QTEs in an MMO. Oh my God.
Somebody get this man a bottle of water.
One of the other things I know you especially loved was jump being default bound to the control key.
Control, yeah. Like I get it that like dodge being on space. If you've got a game that's very dodge centric, that being on the space bar is great. Then just don't put jump in your game. Don't put it on control. Just take it out of your game. There's not really a whole lot of reason to jump anyway, so let's just remove any need to jump and let space be dodge.
Yeah, but then you get interviewed by AKA Mike B while you're developing Final Fantasy 14, the original, at a convention, and he's like, "Why is jump not in here?" And I'm like, the answer was because we don't think you need it in the game, and I don't know. So did it convert you? Like, will you check it out some more? You still owe the audience a Bless video. This is the only Bless product. So will you check it out more? Does it, you're just barely on the cusp of getting decent combos to go off because you have to earn all your abilities back and leveling and stuff. So there's definitely more for you to see before you kind of hit that wall that I'm talking about with the grinding. Was it enough to change your mind on this franchise a little bit and maybe the direction it's going rather than focus on where it's come from?
No. I will play some more.
Quick. There wasn't even a pause.
I will play some more because I want to hit the point where I can rant about it and really have things that I hate that I want to rant about this particular game and not just the company and the history of the game. But no, there's nothing here, even in the beginning, where it's better than that changes my mind about anything. Like I haven't even got to the point where it's probably gonna be like, oh, cash shop. Speaking of cash shop, there's an item in the cash shop that makes you attack faster.
What? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. What the? Come on.
You do get cash shop currency in game though too. So
oh, I'm sure I get tons of cash shop currency just by playing the game.
Oh, I'll tell you, my number one fucking gripe with this game is the damn inventory bag.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Farming up bag scraps to make one inventory slot. One damn slot. I forget what it is. I haven't played in a while. I think it's 4 scraps or something like that for one bag slot.
And I've only found 1 scrap so far. So
you find them all over the world, and you'll spend time literally. Okay, what am I going to do for the first hour today? I'm going to go over the entire area of the map that I've been playing in for the last 2 days to make sure I picked up all the damn bag scraps. One stupid inventory slot. And it is one of those games that throws so much garbage at you inventory-wise that you're constantly having to manage it initially. I hated that. I hated that damn thing. The first time I did it, I was like, okay, look, I'm going to get 4 bag scraps. They're probably going to add 5, 10 slots or however many are in. It'll add a horizontal bar. I look, and it adds 1. And I'm like, you've got to fucking be kidding me. Are you out of your damn minds? I have to find 4 chests to get 4 bag scraps to open up one slot. One.
Hey, would you like to know where you can get more than 1 bag slot?
Oh, I know. I know.
Please come into our cash shop. We have inventory slots.
Oh my god, it's so bad. And what was it? Chat remembers. Was it like $3 for a slot? I feel like it was like $3 for 1 bag slot from the cash shop, and like I don't know, 15 for like a whole row. I don't remember what it was. Let me see if I can.
Now, they're on that level of like EA shady. Like, how can we pilfer money from somebody?
$3 for 1 inventory.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Anybody else getting those Oblivion DLC vibes again? Here's $250. Give me 1 whole slot.
Okay, so this is from February of last year. This would have been a preview of their cash shop. So please forgive me if you're a Bless Online or Bless Unleashed player and these prices have changed. It has been a while since I looked at the cash shop. Lumina is the cash shop currency, and it's about a penny a point. So 500 Lumina for $5. Bag expansion tickets to add 1 additional inventory to your space to your bag, and they can be earned in game. We just talked about that. Are 300 Lumina. So I'm right, $3 for a singular slot of additional inventory.
Somebody go get a skunk.
Terra Nova says that something like that. So I was right. I did remember that.
Yeah, somebody go grab a skunk because apparently somebody needs to kiss the stinkiest part of that skunk.
That was my number 1 gripe with the game. And I remember there being auction house gripes because I think there was, I don't know, there was something currency-wise that you could do with the cash shop currency and the currency that the auction house used. I mean, you have to do that refining thing every couple hours or whatever with the 1 characters or the specific character, and you could do it a couple times a day. And I don't know. It wasn't, monetization is an
perfect
issue.
world conversion crap.
Yeah, kind of like that, where you refine the astral diamonds type shit. Yeah, and I forget exactly what the currency was and the limits on. As you level, you get more and more that you can do it each day. But yeah, anyway. So should you peer pressure Jason into playing? But Jason ain't gonna play Bless. He's not playing. I forget. Yeah, Old Glory. It's a refining thing. I just don't remember what it's called, like moon shards or I don't know, something stupid like that. Well, I'm sorry we couldn't convert you, Troy.
Moon Seeds, wasn't it? Moon Seeds? I think it's Moon Seeds.
Yeah. That's it. Moon Seeds. I just remembered Moon.
Yeah. Who cares? There was, when I opened like the wallet or the inventory or whatever, there was like 3 or 4 in-game currencies, and then there's the cash shop currency. And I was already like, okay, I'm never gonna know what any of these do.
Yep.
How about the the Phantasy Star Online 2 and New Genesis closed beta? This weekend starts tonight, actually, in a little less than 7 hours. A little less than 7 hours. It is a PC global beta. You can take part in it. You do have to use the Microsoft Store. So if that's a deal breaker for any of you to play beta, then that's a deal breaker. I will say, happy news for Mike. Personally, I had no issue with the Microsoft Store on this one. None of the issues I had with the original Phantasy Star Online 2. You know what? The frickin' thing installed and it launched. You know, I mean, it did what it was supposed to do.
Right?
Yeah. I will be taking part. I'm going to capture some footage this weekend, maybe throw up a little like early closed beta impressions type thing. Not a true first look, but early next week, throw up a video. Troy still has a first look coming. That's, only a month and a half late now. So I will be checking it out. Chat, if you're going to be hanging out with us today, I actually have some keys for beta if you want to get into it starting tonight. I have like 6 or 7 to give away. You will not have to do the whole Xbox Insider app sign up thing with these keys. You can just go to the Microsoft Store, redeem the key, and install the game. To sign up for beta, you had to go through their Insider app. But you won't need that if you have these keys. If you want to take part in it, again, it is Microsoft Store only. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, come on to the live shows, twitch.tv/MMOBomb, because you never know when I might be just giving things away afterwards. Gentlemen, are you interested in New Genesis, going to be playing it, taking part in beta this week? What are your initial thoughts on this one, Wilfredo?
I'm looking forward to this. I've been waiting for this for a moment now. I want to see how they do this, because this looks like it's going to be a whole new world, not to be cheesy, but I'm very, very, I'm excited and nervous because I want this to go so right and it can go so wrong. But everything I've seen so far looks like they've got this pretty much mapped out. So I expect some things to go kind of glitchy in the beta, but I'm looking forward to this. And I'm pretty certain my girlfriend's going to get mad that I'm playing this. But it's okay. I can give her a foot rub and it'll be all right.
At the end of this month or later this month, we're going to get the character creator actually unlocked. They were unlocking that early, Troy, because in their Eastern tests, they've been finding people staying in character creation for up to 15 hours with all the different emote options that they allow you to do and customizing so much about your character and its poses and emotes and stuff like that. Yeah, spending up to 15 hours. You interested in this at all?
I'll play with the character creator. I'll go kill 15 hours in a character creator and just play with it. Yeah.
Are you interested in the game itself at all? Have you been watching it?
No, this one's never been on my radar. I don't know that there's anything particularly wrong with it. Obviously, you enjoy it. A lot of folks enjoy it. I got no complaints about it. It's just not in my wheelhouse. Never has been. Everything I know about this game, I've learned live on this show. So.
If you're a PSO2 fan and you've been watching Ark's Hour, whether you're watching it for the content or you're just a code grabber, Ark's Hour aired its last episode this week. So, yeah, we have it summed up on mmobomb.com. You can check it out there. The code is also in the story on the site, so if you want to check that out. Kind of unsure why there's no more Ark's Hour. I mean, nobody was really saying why. I kind of get the impression that they're just trying to brand all of this as global, rather than PSO2 Japan and PSO2 West, which now finally have achieved parity. So the full game is in both areas now. But I think they're so driving the global thing that they probably want the community team to be more global and handled by Sega of Japan. That's just a guess, though. So, yeah, if you want the code for the free stuff, it's in the article on the site. On that note, let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. Troy, you're up.
Dub bomb to all the viewers who showed up when we switched to Bless Unleashed yesterday. Viewership doubled when Mike sent that tweet out. People started coming out of the woodwork. It's like, I'm not missing this for anything. Hey, bomb to those of you who were there when it was supposed to be a SWTOR stream and peer pressured me into switching to Bless Online. If you're not there every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, then you never know what you're going to miss.
Never know. An A-bomb was given, I think it was Nasagra before the show started, because I cued the viewers in, Wilfredo, to let them know that you had allergies acting up and would be a little deeper than normal. I think it was Nasagra. If I have that wrong, let me know. Who gave an A-bomb to allergies because they feel your pain. So just thought you should know that one.
Love you guys.
Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Originally, it was going to be an A-bomb to my allergies, but I'm giving a dub bomb to Troy for just bucking up and playing Bless Unchained. Credit where credit is due, and I'm giving him another dub bomb for his rant. Fantastic. Keep it up, sir.
I'm going to give a dub bomb to those of you that are gaming out there still using Windows XP, man. You guys are in it for the long haul. I did a story this week about Lotro and Dungeons & Dragons Online no longer supporting Windows XP, which I thought was a stunning post in and of itself.
Do we really need to announce that?
Did you need to say that? Until Q politely sent me a Tech Radar article that pointed out last year pointed out with 2 billion roughly estimated PCs in circulation and 1.26% of them using Windows XP still. That's a little over whatever it was, 22 million or 26 million, something like that. That's a stunning number for an operating system that was closed in 2014 and hasn't received an update or a security update since then.
Yeah.
So dub-bomb to all of you that are you're riding this XP train all the way, all the way. Ninja Panda says, dub-bomb to Mass Effect, 'tis the weekend, and being a good game, and A-bomb to Mass Effect for being a really good game and nearly making me miss the podcast. Terra Nova says, A-bomb to Bungie, just what were you thinking, Picard facepalm. Dub-bomb to my new internet from Stojan. A-bomb to Mike, quiz video was a nice surprise. So wait, Old Glory... Oh, corrected it. It said dub-bomb. Okay. Oh, yeah. So those of you that don't know, I put up a quiz video this week. It's on YouTube and on mmobomb.com. It's a Can You Guess the Free-to-Play game based on a dramatic reading of Steam reviews for that game. So go and check it out. 7 questions. I'm going to do more of them. I think the next one's going to be a loading screen quiz. So yeah. I'll blur out details that would give the game name or anything if they're on there, and you can tell me this. We're going to do music, lots of quizzes. So keep coming over to mmobomb.com for all the new stuff, and of course our YouTube channel. Thank you for the dub-bomb, Old Glory. One person, by the way, commented. I put it up on the site first. I gave our site viewers like 4 hours of access to it before the YouTube audience. So those of you that come to the site, you get a little reward for getting the content a little earlier than everybody, without having to pay. And somebody like really took their time, man, because they grabbed the YouTube video URL out of the MMO bomb post so they could go to the unlisted video and comment on an unlisted video, not realizing that comments on unlisted videos don't display, but I still get the notification that a comment was made. And the initial comment was something to the effect of, Jesus Christ, talk faster. I had to speed this up to 1.75 times to put it at normal volume. They then edited that comment to say, Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck? This was, and I apologize for the extra swears in the episode. You try to keep it user-friendly. I'm quoting here. I had to speed this up. I've heard of reading for slow readers, but this is ridiculous. To which I commented, it's meant to be that way. Sorry you didn't enjoy this one. Thanks for the hyper-aggressive feedback. Do you get the feeling that I just don't care in my older age? At some point?
Right.
Negative YouTube comments don't
just
bother
hit that X at the top of your window and move on.
Somebody put a comment on the video that you actually can see that says this video is pointless. I wanted to reply to that one with, but I didn't. I was just like, so was the comment, but thanks. Whatever. Then leave. Don't watch it. Go watch the free to play.
You're not doing it right until you get hate.
Oh, yes. Oh, man. The amount of hate. It's Stojan to bomb to my new internet. From viewers on YouTube and on mmobomb.com, I'm going to keep these short this week since we're running long. I'm going to give you 2 bombs, and we'll just give one question of the weekend. As A-bomb to Ubisoft, I guess. They keep on ignoring any criticism and recommendations by players regarding the Division franchise, and that all led to Warlords of New York, probably the most hated expansion they ever released. The game did extremely well on launch, and then they let it run on cruise control while reworking the crafting and gear system what felt like 20 times, and every time all the gear I min-maxed for days and weeks was now worthless. Now they want to release a free-to-play variant made by a studio that released Wildlands and Breakpoint, 2 games that pretty much flopped. There is also the speculation that Heartland could be Division's survival mode as a standalone. That idea I honestly like, but Ubisoft lost all control and has no idea how to keep it from becoming Breakpoint 2.0. On that topic, Ubisoft announced late this week, we just put the article up today, that they're going to be looking more towards high-end free-to-play games going forward than the yearly release cycles of some of their franchises that they've been doing. Check out that article on the site.
Right. I believe that when I see it.
Fact.
Go ahead, Troy.
KO says Mike versus Jason in Quake Champions Duel.
So that was our first recommendation for a show idea or a MMO Bomb free-to-play cast segment from viewers was one-on-one duels, picking two hosts and having them duel in something, whether it was PvP related or score related for, PvE content. So Co wants to see Jason and I play Quake Champions Duel. That would be so painful to watch. I'll see if I'll do it. I'll see if he'll do it. Question of the week last week. Time to start locking in predictions. Who wins Epic versus Apple? Will Epic prove that Apple's a monopoly on iOS? And what will that mean for other walled gardens like PSN, the Nintendo eShop, and the Xbox storefronts? What do you gentlemen think, Wilfredo?
I don't want to have an opinion on this just because it's so mind-numbingly boring. But I mean, ultimately, I feel as though that Apple's probably going to turn the tide on this one. It's Apple.
Troy?
Not about what you know, it's about who you know. I think Apple has more friends in high places. I think Apple walks away with a win.
Interesting. I think proving that they're a monopoly on the platform that they build is a tough sell.
Yeah.
Is a tough sell. Rickshaw not chiming in with an exact winner, but commenting on the topic here. Gaming is awesome, isn't it? It's now the #1 business that is shoving stupid money figures in our faces daily, and these figures are becoming too complacent to tongue off. But the reality is these figures are way overblown for our capacity or understanding. All way out of our reach to us players. The space high crazed amounts are stupid. The only problem with the I'm now an instant top game companies reeling in massive cash piles is that they forget why they really started gaming, as money always shows they become or try to become power freaks, breeding complacency and bias, I think is what was meant there, which isn't good for gaming. On the other side of the fence, being a game player is a greater life experience than the frivolousness of the sight of power through redunculous amounts of money. Off topic, I do want to say yet again, thanks for all the hard work you do in keeping us up to date with everything free to play in the gaming world. You all rock. If there was a pub near you, I'd buy the rounds and rounds of beers or soft drinks. LOL. So cheers to you yet again. Rambling on. Rickshaw, that's very kind of you. Thank you. There are pubs near all of us. You are absolutely more than welcome to go ahead and pay for the next round. That's very kind of you. We appreciate it. Thank you. Question of the week this week. How do you feel about grinding gear games selling cursors as a microtransaction? Does it lead to worse items in the future, or is it totally fine with you since it's 100% optional? Should be a pretty hot button one. Let us know in the comments below your answer to that and your weekly bombs. D-bomb for something good, A-bomb for something bad in the world of gaming or life in general. Or if you have a question for the panel or a recommendation for a one-on-one match, throw it down there as well. Until next week, Wilfredo, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at DamianXMarius. No deep voice.
No deep voice. Troy.
On Twitter at NoobFridge and right here on Twitch at MMO Bomb every Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern.
I'm Mike Byrne.
And you never know what happened.
Follow me right there at magicman1, but more importantly, follow at MMO Bomb so that you get notified of all the latest news, articles, videos, new quizzes, giveaways, and so much more. Until next week, stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers.